All right. So I'm a little bit late for the video call. Lord willing, the brother Shema will get in here in a couple seconds. Like I said, I'm running a little bit late. Forgive me, y'all. But hey, we're here to do the work of the Lord, and we here now. So like the video say, like the title say, today we talking about sticking to the basics. I say again, today we are talking about sticking to the basics. Because you got to understand that just like any other place, just like any other walk of life, there are basics, there are foundational things to everything. And we have to remember that. You know, if you've been in this truth 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years, 9, 10 years, however long, and you done got to a point in the truth where you understand this prophecy and you understand that prophecy and you understand here a little and there a little, you understand the basics, you can start to forget. Not to say that you will, Lord willing, you won't, but hey, we just got to be honest. You can start to forget that the basics is what's important. The basics is what gets you through this tough time and that tough time, this rough patch and that rough patch. Right? You got to really understand that these are the things that's going on. The basics is what's going to get you through this and that tough time that you might go through. All right, so let me get this in Isaiah chapter 28 right quick. Let's get into this. And like I said, Salakia, y'all, have been a little late. You know, contrary to popular belief, even though we in the truth and we make these videos, man, we still got real life going on. You know, certain brothers got wives, certain brothers got kids, certain brothers got homes to tend to, certain brothers got jobs. It's a lot of things that can come into the way of doing this work. But like I say, hey, we here, man. We here to do what we got to do for the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So first, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, so lucky I can't have my camera on at the moment. But this is one of them joints where the people sit back, relax, while you riding in the cars to work, riding in the car home from work. Whatever you doing, whatever the Lord got you doing in your life, you just sit back and enjoy one of these videos. Really soak in the information that's being brought out through the Spirit of the Most High. And Lord willing, you apply it to your life. Right. And one more time, I salak you for being late. But we here now. So let's get out Isaiah chapter 28 and verse number 9. Isaiah chapter 28 and verse number 9. We're going into the basics, right? It says, whom shall he teach knowledge? Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we good. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. So you got to understand, one of the most foundational precepts in this truth is that you have to go here a little and there a little when it comes to the word of the Most High. You know, a lot of times for us who've been in the truth for a little while, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, however long you've been in it, if you stay active for long enough, you gonna hear, oh, why y'all jump around so much? Why don't y'all read this whole chapter? And why don't y'all read that whole chapter? You're gonna hear a lot of different stuff, because a lot of people in the world, whether they're in the truth or not, whether they think they're in the truth or not, don't understand that Isaiah chapter 28 clearly explains to you in verse 9 on down that you got to be here a little and there a little. You got to go a little bit in the book of Romans, a little bit in the book of Isaiah, a little bit of book in the book of Second Ezra, a little bit in Revelation, a little bit in Job, a little bit in Psalms. It's a lot of things that go into the truth. So once again, all praise to the Most High that I'm able to be here to do this video, that I'm able to give this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Most High has imparted unto me by His own grace and by His own mercy. And so what the Lord has given me, what the Lord has put on my spirit, Lord willing, that's what I give to the people today. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go into the book of, I believe I want Luke. Let me make sure that's what I want. I believe it's Luke chapter 14. All right, Salaki for being a little late today, y'all. Salaki, forgive me. Forgive the servant of the Lord. Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. Let's get into this. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. Now imagine your family that you done left behind because they don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Your job, they don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Whatever you have given up in this world to follow the Lord, imagine if you run back to what you gave up. You know, your job been trying to get you to work on the Sabbath for the past 5 years and you've been standing tall. Then all of a sudden you give in. And all of the other numerous, countless different examples that we can give of this exact thing that I'm talking about. You know, they used to always see you wear your fringes at work. Now all of a sudden, hey, you don't wear them no more. You don't read on your lunch break like you used to. You don't watch the videos in your car on the way from work, on the way to work like you used to. Now you just play music. Whatever you do on your way to work, on your way from work, hey, you got to understand. We're supposed to stick to the basics in this thing. And like we like to say all the time, hey, I'm not exempt from this. Listen, I have my times where I'm slacking too. This is not the holier than thou channel. This is not the mightier than thou channel. This is me showing love to my brothers and sisters the way I'm supposed to, because I understand what you're going through. Shalom, Azza. Yahbashim Yahushua Brakatah. And while we sticking to speaking on the basics, hey, this is one of the brothers that I know personally who do what he gotta do to stick to the basics, man. He always there to salute the brethren. You know, that's something that I can improve on as a man in this truth. To be honest with you, this is one of the brothers that I know personally who puts forth his hand to walk the walk, puts forth his hand to talk the talk. Brother all the way out there in St. Louis somewhere, man. You know, country bumpkin brother. You feel me? And he still do what he got to do to show love to the brothers up here in Wisconsin. So on and so forth. See that? Hey, you got to come out here, man. The country bumpkin St. Louis brothers got to come out here to Milwaukee. Hey, Lord willing, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, allow you to do that. Because we sticking to the basics, man. We got to understand why we are here in the first place. Let me get that in Deuteronomy. Right, today we're not going into, or we don't plan on going into no super deep breakdown and, you know, revelation this and saying the book of Second Esdras that, and that's not necessarily what we're here for. So let's get it. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Let's get the classics. Let's get the basics. Right? It's Deuteronomy chapter 7. In verse number 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. We got to understand that the Lord didn't pick us because it was so many more so-called black people than the other people. It was so many Hispanics compared to the other people. It was so many Native Americans. That has nothing to do with why the Most High picked us. That has nothing to do with us being a chosen people. But as a matter of fact, that's the opposite reason why the Most High picked us. He picked us because nobody else did. He picked us because nobody else wanted to. Everybody else had the numbers advantage. They had the size advantage. They had the land advantage. But over there, them little old Israelites, they didn't have much of nothing in comparison to the advantages that the other nations had. And for that reason, the Lord said, you know, I'm going to be their people. I like them. You know, it's like you in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, whatever. And it's a particular person who get bullied all the time. They sit at the lunch table by themselves. They don't really fit in with nobody. And you decide, you know what? I'm gonna be this brother friend. I'm gonna be this sister friend. They don't have nobody else but me. I'm gonna be their friend because nobody else chooses to be around this person. Nobody else chooses to get to know this person, to understand this person, but I will. They sitting off by themselves. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the one who learns this person, who gets close to this person. That's how the Most High described us in Deuteronomy chapter 7. We sticking to the basics today. You got to understand what it means to stick to the basics. Yeah, you can know this prophecy. You can know that prophecy. You can know this complex breakdown. You can know that complex breakdown. But how many people can show our people that's still in the world who got a little bit of knowledge? Hey, this is the way to go. That's the way to go. This is the way not to go. That's the way not to go. How many people is willing to do that? You know, they might post you on Instagram, they might post you on TikTok, confounding you with this scripture and confounding you with that scripture and destroying this doctrine and destroying that doctrine. But how many people can show you the basics? Can really demonstrate to you, hey, this is how the Lord intended for the righteous to move. This is how the Lord intended for the righteous not to move. How many people are willing to show you that? Or are they just willing to talk about you all the time? They willing to make a video on YouTube about how weak you are, how effeminate you are, whatever it is. We're not here to do that today. We're here to talk to the people about sticking to the basics. So let's get Proverbs chapter 1. And all praise to the Most High. I was reading this earlier while I was at the plantation. You know, while I was slaving for Esau earlier, the Lord put the spirit on me to tune in to the book of Proverbs. Let's get Proverbs chapter 1, and let's start at verse 7. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse number 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. It said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. If I say that something is the beginning of knowledge, that means if you haven't arrived at that something yet, you haven't learned to know nothing yet. According to Proverbs 1 and 7, if you don't fear the Lord, you haven't even started to learn knowledge yet. Yeah, you might know this precept. You might know that precept. But you don't know nothing yet until you fear the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ. If you don't fear that man, you don't know nothing. That's according to Proverbs chapter 1. So like I said, this video is about sticking to the basics, man. You have to stick to the basics. I don't care how many complex prophecies and complex breakdowns, and you can go 3 hours into the 10 feathers and this and that. Hey, guess what? Just like anything else, this truth has foundation to it. And you have to know the foundation. So let's keep getting that. We just learned that if you don't fear the Lord, you don't know nothing. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All right, let's bring this precept out that the brother just dropped. All praise. Salaki, give me 1 second. All right, Salaki, the brother just getting over a cold recently. But let's get this in Proverbs chapter 14. Make sure we pull this out, man. And the water for the precept. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Verse 27. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. The fear of the Lord is a beautiful thing, man. Let's get this in Sirach chapter 1 about the fear of the Lord. Right. Let me flip to this right quick. Sirach chapter 1. See that? All praises. That's the spirit, man. Sirach chapter 1, and I believe I'm on verse 21. Come. Let's start at verse number 20. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 20. Y'all know this is my favorite book, man. It's fire. If you ain't read the book of Sirach, get in there. We reading chapter 1 and verse 20 right now. The root of wisdom is to fear the Lord, and the branches thereof are long life. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins. Salakia, driveth away sins. And where it is present, it turneth away wrath. So the fear of your creator is so great that it's the root of wisdom. It's where wisdom grows from. See, this is the thing. Not committing adultery, not breaking the Sabbath, not hating your brother in your heart, not eating abominable foods comes from you understanding, and not only understanding, but accepting the fact that your creator, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, says that, hey, people who fear me, they don't do X, Y, and Z. People who fear the Lord, they don't do A, B, and C. If I created the heavens, I created hell, I created this, I created that, I created good, I created evil. If you know I got the power to do that, you're not going to play with me. That's what the Most High is saying. Just me speaking as a man. Let's read verse 13, starting verse 11. Sirach chapter 1, verse 11. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Here we go again. It says the same thing as Proverbs 1. I'm going to read this verse again. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. Did you know that if you in this truth right now, you was created from the womb to be in this truth? Before you could even say the word mama, before you could say the word daddy, before you could say the word milk, water, whatever word you can think of, the Lord had you from the womb being prepared to be in this truth. I don't care if you came in the truth at 30. I don't care if you came in the truth at 50. I don't care if you came in the truth at 80. Don't matter. Every single one of us, including me, was predestined to be in this truth. You think you chose the truth? You think you so special that when you was 2 years old, 3 years old, you sent the prayer up to the Most High, please bring me into the truth when I'm 30 years old? You think that's what you was praying for at 3? Excuse me. Excuse me, Salaki, getting over this cold. Well, hey, that's besides the point. You think that's what happened? Or do you think that the Lord from the foundation of the earth had it to where, hey, brother such and such, sister such and such, what's today? February 4th, 2026. I'm going to have that brother listening to the truth. I'm going to have that sister listening to the truth. Because remember, everybody ain't going to come in this truth. You have to remember that. This truth ain't for everybody. Contrary to popular belief, hey, everybody can't understand this truth. They don't get that opportunity. But you did. That's why you're listening to me now. I did. That's why I'm making this video now. Let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 13 and verse number 8. Like I said, we sticking to the basics today. Let's just stick to the basics. Nothing advanced. Lord willing, the people that's at home that's watching this live or you watching this on a replay joint, make sure you're paying attention and taking notes to the basics of the truth. This Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass. When it says it shall come to pass, it means just wait on it. I promise you it's going to happen. It's not a maybe. It's not a hopefully. It's not even a Lord willing. If the Bible says it shall come to pass, hey, I promise you it's going to happen. Right, so Zechariah 13 and verse 8 says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. It was prophesied that even out of Israel, even out of the people who the truth was meant for, which is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is what the world calls them, but the Lord calls them Israelites. The Lord said even out of them, only 1/3 of them is going to get it. You know, if you got, just for example, if you had 600,000 Israelites in your city, according to the Bible, according to Zechariah 13, only 200,000 out of that 600,000 is going to be in the truth. Now, there's 2 ways to look at that. You can look at it as, oh man, woe is me, my people evil, X, Y, and Z. Or you can think about it like, man, 1 out of every 3 black people is going to be in the truth. 1 out of every 3 Hispanic people and Native American people is going to be wearing their fringes. They're going to be keeping the Sabbath. They're going to know the name Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. How many times you went to church and they knew that the name of the Most High was Yahweh? How many times? How many times when your family and them who don't know nothing about the truth was praying over that Thanksgiving and that Christmas ham in the name of Yahweh? How many times you seen it? You ain't never seen it, more than likely. So you got to be honored that the Most High picked you, because he didn't have to. He didn't have to pick me to do these Wednesday videos. It ain't nothing special about me. I'm a man just like you. I'm a human being just like you. I didn't grow up in the truth. I wasn't 2 years old hearing this stuff that I'm telling y'all today. Truth be told, I didn't come into the truth until I was 21 years old. But yet and still the Most High had enough grace, favor, and mercy on me to bring me into the truth, just like he did you, man. Just like he did you, woman. So what are you going to do to show your appreciation? What you going to do? It's important that we remember that having this truth is a luxury. We not owed anything. Every one of us. Let's get that in Romans chapter 6 right quick. Like I said, we sticking to the basics today. So let's do it. Let's get Romans chapter 6. Romans chapter 6, I believe I want verse 23. I could be wrong, but we're going to see. Okay, Romans chapter 6 and verse number 23. That's exactly what I wanted. Romans 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach our Lord. Now I want you to think, if you came in the truth at 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, whatever age you came into, how many years of Sabbaths did you not keep? How many years of new moons did you not keep? Pentecost, Passover. Let's get more simple than that. If you came into the truth at 25, what is that, almost 25 years of not wearing no fringes like you were supposed to? Whether you knew better or not, that's not the point. You didn't wear them. It's still a sin. How many years of idol worship did you commit when you was keeping Christmas and 4th of July and Thanksgiving and St. Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day and this holiday and that holiday? Most of us, like 99+%, we wasn't born in the truth. How many sins do you have on your name? You know, even in Esau Kingdom here in America, you catch a felony, that's on your record, bro. You could be 30-some years old and a felony that you caught at 17, 18 and still be on your record. And we talking about Esau. We talking about a human being, another man. How much more so with the Most High? But yet and still, the Most High gives us his grace, his favor, his mercy. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 3. See, we talking to the Israelites today. If you're not an Israelite, hey, click off this video. If you are not an Israelite, hey, this video ain't for you. You're wasting your time. You know, just go on about your good Wednesday. Go do what you had to do. Because if you're not an Israelite, this video ain't for you. But if you are a so-called black man or woman, so-called Hispanic man or woman, so-called Native American man or woman, this video is for you. Because you are one of the Lord's chosen people. And we're going to get into that after this verse. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1. I'm going to start at Isaiah 54 and verse 5. Give me 1 second. It's a new precept I've been kind of getting into, all praise to the Most High, so let's get it. Isaiah chapter 54. Bear with me, y'all. Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, according to the Bible, according to Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 5, our maker is our husband. The Lord himself is our husband. That's who we married to. Now let's get something else on that. Jeremiah chapter 3. And I want to start at verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. You got to understand, as a repenting Israelite in this truth, you have played the harlot against the Most High. I don't care who you are. If you in this kingdom of, if you in this empire, you in this captivity of America, like I am, like the rest of the Israelites that's in America are, because this is the thing. If you was brought here into slavery, and you still here, guess what you still in? If you was brought here to work and you still here, guess what you still got to do? You know, it'd be a lot of Jake and Eve, which is the unrepentant Israelite man, which is Jake, the unrepentant Israelite woman, which is Eve. They think they free. Hey, they get to go to the club on Friday and Saturday, so they think they free. They get to pop Don Julio and Hennessy bottles, so they think they free. They get to go home and watch Baddies Club or whatever that crap is called. They get on Instagram and watch what this celebrity doing, and this celebrity couple broke up, and all this other stuff. So they think they free. Well, hey, we here to tell you, man, you're not free. Not if you're an Israelite. It was prophesied for you to be in this position that you're in. Like, a lot of people sit back and wonder, a lot of our people, in the truth or not, dang, if the so-called white man, woman, and child, they did all this evil, how come they the ones with all the money? How come they own everything? How come we can't own nothing? How come all the gas stations in our hoods is owned by the Arabs? All the nail salons and hair salons in our hoods is owned by the Asians. All the corner stores in our hoods is owned by the Indians. Why is that? All the grocery stores in our hoods is owned by the whites. A lot of our people ask that question. Well, let's go to it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's see what your God said about you. Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Black, Hispanic, or Native American woman. Black, Hispanic, or Native American child. What did the Lord say about you? Why do you have to go through the things you go to? Hey, I just posted on my Instagram. I saw a post. It said, in 2025, 47% of the abortions done in this country, in this kingdom, in this empire of America, was done by the so-called black woman. 21% of the abortions in this country, in this kingdom, in this empire of so-called America, was done by the Latino woman. That means 68% of all the abortions are done by Israelites. And you wonder why we in the conditions that we in? You wonder why the Lord's hands are so heavy on us the way they are? In this country, like 13, 14% of the population is black. But more than 50% of the incarceration is black? How did that happen? How is it that less than 1 in 5 Americans is a black person, but more than 1 in 2 prisoners in America is a black person? How is that possible? How? How do you make up 13% of the population, but make up 51% of the incarceration? Hey, I'm from Wisconsin. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can look this up. We have the highest incarceration rate of black men in the entire country in Wisconsin. If you look up the top 5 worst cities in America for black people to live, Milwaukee is top 5. This is where I was born and raised. I have a right to speak on what I'm speaking on. The area code 53206 is rated the worst area code in the country. Guess who lives there? So-called black people. Now, you know, certain studies, it might change. Milwaukee might drop down a level to the 3rd place and 5th place and 7th place, all of that stuff. You know, hey, it changes every year. It is what it is. But I guarantee whatever state you in, whatever the biggest city is in your state, you got black people gangbanging in it. You got black people dying in it. You got Hispanic people gangbanging in it. You got Hispanic people dying in it. You can go to the West Coast, go to California. Who gangbanging? Blacks and Hispanics. Go to the East Coast. Who gangbanging? Blacks and Hispanics. Go to the Midwest, where I'm at, where I'm born and raised. Detroit, Milwaukee, Chicago. Don't get me started on Chicago. You got black people and Hispanic people gangbanging in it. Baby mama drama in it. Section 8 in it. So we got to really stick to these basics and understand that this whole time, this same Bible that we was being taught the wrong way growing up, it was teaching us the basics about what we should do and what we didn't do, and what was a result of us doing or not doing what we was told to do. That's what the Bible is. It's a record of when the Israelites did what God told them to do, this is what happened to them. When the Israelites didn't do what God told them to, this is what happened to them. And those Israelites today are the black people, are the Hispanic people, are the Native American people. You are the people that the Most High was talking to. And if not, why does this apply to you? Let's get this in Deuteronomy 28. If the Bible was for everybody, why does this only apply to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now, like I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago, whether you're on the West Coast, on the East Coast, the Midwest, I don't care if you're down south, who is living the worst in your city? If you're from Atlanta, Georgia, is it the Asian people that's living bad, that's gang banging on each other, that can't stick together, that's having baby mamas all over the place? Is it the Asians? Is it the Arabs? Is it the Europeans? Excuse me. Or is it Keisha and them? Is it Rodriguez and them? Is it the Native Americans in them doing that? Having alcoholism problems, Section 8 problems, aborting their children at a 47% rate. Who's doing that? Is it the Asian man? Is it the Arab man? Is it the East Indians? Is it Habib and them doing it? Or is it Don Travion and Tykesha and them? Which one is it? Let's just be for real. We grown here. We adults. Let's talk about it. Who is this applying to when it says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field? Who is in that field picking tobacco in America? Who is the ones getting their sons and daughters snatched from them? You might have been on a plantation in Georgia. Master sell your daughter to a plantation in Louisiana. He sell your husband to a plantation in Virginia. He sell your grandbabies to a plantation in Mississippi. Who did that happen to? Did that happen to the Asian people? Or did that happen to you, black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Native American man, Native American woman? Who did that happen to? And for that reason, we got to stick to the basics. We have to stick to the basics. What did the Lord create me for? Why did he choose me? And what does he expect from me now that he chose me? Especially that last question. Now that I know that the Lord chose me, I know I'm an Israelite. I know that Deuteronomy chapter 28 applies to me and my people. What do I do now? So let's get Deuteronomy 28:68. All right, we're going to be closing up in a couple of minutes. But today we just decided to stick to the basics, man. Stick to the basics. The simple parts. What are we supposed to do? What are we not supposed to do? Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. I want to start at let me get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46. I believe maybe I want to start at 45. Yeah, let's start at verse 45. Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. See, contrary to popular belief, the Most High didn't want it to be a secret who his people were. The Most High wasn't whispering when he told us who these curses applied to. It wasn't whispering. I'm going to read that again. Deuteronomy 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Hey, when you go to Walmart, do they cover up the Walmart sign on the building? When you go to McDonald's to order that disgusting Happy Meal, do they cover up that golden M on the sign? Or is it sitting right in a place to where when you driving past, you can see it, clear as day? When you driving past the Chick-fil-A, when you driving past the whatever place, do they hide the sign to the business, or do they put it right in a spot where you can't help but to see it? It's the same way with the truth. The Most High set it up to be a sign and a wonder. There's no way you can ignore it. Now, let me give you one of the biggest signs that the Lord gave you that you can't ignore. Let's drop down to verse 68. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. I just got done reading verse 46. Let's drop down to 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, what happened in Egypt? For those who don't know, let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Because some of our people is new. Some of our people are just getting into this thing. They don't all the way know. And that's okay. That's what this video is for. We're here to teach the people. We're not here to talk down to you. On the contrary, we're here to build you up in this truth. It's Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So for those who don't know, in Egypt, that's when Moses was saying, hey, telling the Pharaoh, let my people go, that they may serve the Lord in the wilderness. You know, we slaves to y'all, let us go. That's what bondage is, it's slavery. In America, legal slavery is being a prisoner. Even in the Constitution. If you are in prison, you are legally, they can enslave you. That's why you in there making 17 cents an hour. Cooking that food in that kitchen. Making 25 cents an hour and 31 cents an hour. You got people out here in a free world making $15 an hour and they can barely get by on $15 an hour. And you got people in prison making 20 cents an hour. 12 cents an hour. They don't even make pennies no more. Do you understand that? Pennies are no longer being printed in the United States of America. And you got people making 12 pennies an hour in that prison system. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And that word buy just means redeem. No man is going to be able to get you out of this. How many people tried? Malcolm X tried. What happened to him? Medgar Evers tried. What happened to him? MLK tried. What happened to him? And the list goes on and on. How many people then tried to raise our people up? And it failed. It backfired. How many? I just named 3. Medgar Evers, MLK, Malcolm X. It was way more than that. I just gave you 3. Hey, Nat Turner tried. What happened to him? Harriet Tubman tried. What happened? I gave you 5. Because we didn't listen to the Most High God when he told us, hey, keep my Sabbath. Remember my Sabbath. Don't be covetous. Don't kill. Don't steal. Honor your mother and your father. We got a generation of kids nowadays who hate their father. They ain't never even met that man. They ain't never heard that man's side of the story. They don't know what happened. But they despise their own father, their own mother. Never heard her side of the story. 20, 30 some years old, talking about how much they hate their daddy, how much they hate their mama, and never heard that person's side of the story. So for our lack of sticking to the basics, that's why we're in this position. Let's go Hosea 4 and 6. Look at the classic. All right. Let's get the classic, man. Hosea chapter 4 and verse number 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. That's the word of the Lord, man. Oh, the Lord said, oh, you going to forget about me? Okay, I'm going to forget about your kids then. You going to forget about me? I'm forget about you when they give you 30 years to life, 25 years to life, and you sitting in that cage. You didn't think about me. Why should I think about you? When they take your kids from you, don't cry to me. Because when I gave you an opportunity to return unto me to keep my law, statutes, and commandments, you cast it behind your back. You didn't want to hear what I had to say. So why should I hear what you got to say? You didn't care about my well-being. Why should the Lord care about your well-being? So for our lack of knowledge, for our lack of fear of the Lord, because Proverbs 1:7 says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Because you didn't fear the Lord, now he got to show you something. Now he got to show you. And every single one of us, keyword us, which includes me, have a testimony in our life where the Most High showed us something. Something you went through, it's like, dang, why I had to go through that? Why my woman in high school cheat on me like that? You know? Why my mama used to treat me like that growing up? Why I have to go to jail for that? Why I have to go to prison for that? Why I have to be born with this certain medical condition? Whatever it is, hey, Hosea 4:6 is telling you, hey, you forget about the Most High, he gonna forget about your children. You forget about what the Most High care about, he gonna forget about what you care about. Because contrary to popular belief, the Israelites care about their kids. They call us deadbeat fathers and horrible mothers, and they call us all of this stuff here in America. But hey, we don't play about our kids, man. Y'all know how it was when we was growing up. Let your grandma find out that you ain't eat today. Hey, Granny might kind of have to grab the strap. Granny might have to go, go handle something. She found out her grandbabies ain't ate today. Hey, how do our people get when they see a baby outside without no coat on? We love our kids, man. But because we forgot about the Lord, he forgot about our children. You got to go to work 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, 8 hours a day. And you got to drop your kids off to another daycare, another school for somebody else to raise your kids just so you can go have time to go make some money to barely get by, to barely pay your rent. And you okay with that? You okay with dropping your 2-year-old off to daycare to be raised by somebody else just so you can go to work? You okay with that? You okay with sitting your child in a classroom from K5 all the way up to 12th grade, which is like 13 years of their childhood that they'll never be able to relive again, just so you can work? How did you used to feel going to school? Did you like school? How many little kids like going to school? And now your kids got to go through that. They learn whatever the government want them to learn. They learn whatever Esau want them to learn. Your teachers is at the school raising your kids all day. So like I said, because we didn't want to keep the law of our God, hey, The Lord said, you forget me, I'm going to forget your kids, man. See, here at WFI Milwaukee, here in WFI, period, Watchmen for Israel, we're going to keep it all the way a stack with you. We're not going to sugarcoat it. So think about it like this. Let's get positive for a second. If forgetting the law of God made him forget your children, isn't it logical to assume that remembering the law of God will make him remember your children? I'm going to say that one more time. If by you forgetting the law of the Most High God, it caused the Most High God to forget about your kids, wouldn't it be logical to assume that remembering the law of the Most High would make him remember your kids? Caring for the law of the Most High would make him care for your kids? We got to think about that, man. We have to think about stuff like that. We are the Israelites. We are God's chosen people. The Lord chose us above all people on this planet. If you're a Black, Hispanic, Native American woman, man, or child, the Lord, the creator of the heaven and earth, said, hey, I like them more than anybody. They're going to be my people. You know, the kingdom of heaven was promised to you, the same heaven that everybody else be talking about. The same heaven that everybody think they grandma and they grandpa is in right now, looking down on them, was promised to you as an Israelite man, woman, or child, as a Black, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, or child. Did you know that? I don't care what hood you come from. I come from the hood too. You can't impress me with that. I'm from the north side of Milwaukee. Do your research. You can't impress me with that. Gang banging is not impressive to me. Section 8 is not impressive to me. Public school is not impressive to me. I don't care if you ain't grew up with your daddy. You a grown man or woman. What you gonna do now though? Yeah, you grew up, you was raised by your grandma. Yeah, you might have been touched inappropriately growing up. You might have had to boil water on the stove to take a hot bath growing up. Okay, now what? You gonna keep crying about it or you gonna do something about it? Yeah, you grew up not getting no hugs at home. You grew up not hearing I love you at home. Yeah, okay. And it hurt bad, don't it? I know. And I'm sorry it had to happen to you. I truly am, because I love you. I wouldn't be doing these videos if I ain't love my people. It's a million things. Hey, look, I'm a so-called Black man in America. You know how much stuff I could be doing on this Wednesday? But yet and still, I'm here trying to teach my people. I ain't charging nobody no money. I ain't dropped my cash up. Hey, send Mawasar some money. When did I say that? I'm here for the people. I done been through some of the same stuff y'all going through, some of the stuff y'all gonna go through. And that's why I'm here, to tell you to stick to the basics. We are the Israelites of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We are his chosen people from the beginning, from the time of Genesis, from the time of Exodus. The Lord talked about how much he wanted, how much he loved us, how he was going to choose us above all people, as long as we do what he said to do. But because we didn't do what he said to do, that's why we got to live how we live. That's why, as soon as this video got to be over, some of y'all got to work third shift. As soon as you get done watching this video, you got to get in the shower and put your work clothes on and go work. And if you want to escape that, you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. I got 2 more precepts, and then we're going to close up out of here. Let me get Joel chapter 2 right quick. I want Joel 2, and I want Ecclesiastes. Let me get Ecclesiastes so I can hold that right quick. I want Ecclesiastes 12. All right, Ecclesiastes 12. Okay, let me get Joel chapter 2. Right after Hosea 5. All right, Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. If you haven't read the book of Joel, get into that, man. It's not even a long book. It's only 3 chapters. Get into the book of Joel. It's Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. Now, this is an end time prophecy. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. Yeah, y'all got to read Joel chapter 2. Just read the whole book of Joel. It's only 3 chapters. But Joel 2 and 27 is a future prophecy. And it's letting you know, that the Lord is going to make sure that the whole world know that he is the God of Israel and none else. He's the God of you. The creator of heaven and earth is going to make sure that the whole world knows that he chose you. Let's get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 before we close out. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. The whole duty of you as a person on this earth is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That's it. Hey, knowing a bunch of prophecies is not going to save you. Knowing the breakdown of this chapter and that chapter, sounding mighty on the highways and byways when you go to camp and you teach is not going to save you. But fearing the Lord and doing what he said to do, aka fearing the Lord and keeping his commandments, that's what's going to save you. As a matter of fact, let me get this last little verse right quick. Let me get this right quick. I believe it's in 2nd Esdras. Let me look this up. 2nd Esdras 9. Let's get that. We're going to close out with this verse. I'll praise the Most High for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We could be at the club right now. We could be doing this. We can be doing that. But the Lord got us dealing with the Bible, dealing with real wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Real power. I'll praise the Most High for that. 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse number, I'm going to start at 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonders and powerful signs, and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have lived. Even in the time of Esdras, it was understood that it took faith and work. Your faith that you're an Israelite, your faith that keeping the commandments is going to get you out of here, and then your works behind that, which is because I believe that the commandments is going to get me out of here, I'm going to work to keep them. I'm going to make sure I got my fringes on. I'm going to make sure I keep the Sabbath day. I'm going to make sure that I keep Passover. I'm going to make sure that I don't lie to my brother, that I don't defraud my brother or my sister, that I honor my mother and father, that I'm not coveting after what the next man, woman, or child got, that I'm not stealing, that I'm not killing. That's what it means to stick to the basics. Sticking to the basics is understanding that the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the works, which is keeping the commandments, doing what the Bible says to do, and not doing what the Bible says not to do. That's sticking to the basics. And that's what matters. Not a prophecy, not doing 10 million videos on the Bible every day, but having that faith mixed with that works. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Kwam Yasharalu, and Shalom.